morning, it's Yvonne here to do the reading for the lovely sign of Aries. Aries, I always do my little spiel because I feel like somehow or another it helps people out. If you identify as an Aries, it means generally you're an Aries sun. Now, that's only one aspect of your personality. There are other aspects to your personality, your drive, everything about you. And the planets all aligned when you were born. And those planets aligned in different houses, which means that you have different aspects of yourself that you're not looking for. So it's a really good idea to Google your natal chart, pop in all the details of your birth. If you have your time, then you can get a correct ascendant or rising. And then you can see where all the planets were placed when you were born. It sort of gives you a lot more signs that you can watch. For example, if you have Aries in your Venus, then that means you love like an Aries, which means you can watch the Aries readings. So if you have a rising sign of Scorpio, it means you can watch the Scorpio readings. So keep yourself open-minded about it. Whip over to Google, pop in natal chart or birth chart, put in the details of your birth, and see if you can download a free report. Cafe Astrology always offer a free report. So yeah, and then you can keep it. You can read it and you can go over it as you want to. But it's quite enlightening and quite inspiring sometimes to read about where you're at. But it will also show you things like your south node to your north node. It will show you other aspects of yourself that we don't really sort of talk about a whole lot, like Lilith. Some of those are really helpful for you to understand yourself. So very good idea to do that. Okay, so just back to my little blurbs. First off, if you want a personal reading with me, you can email me at the aussiegoddess@gmail.com. Straightforward wording, no numbers, and I will send you details of readings. I still haven't got my website back up and running. A lot of people still going there. So I'm going to try and think about doing that over the next few weeks, and get the website up and running again, where you can sort of book your own reading in the time that's possible for you. If you are interested in joining the membership program, join on my site. At the moment, there's quite a lot of videos on doing the individual cards, and I am starting to make contact with people to see if I can do some one-on-one training with them. I do hope eventually we can get groups together and read for each other, which is my goal. All right, is there anything else? No, but we're going to use the Albano Rider-Waite Tarot this morning. I've given it a lot of shuffling. Okay, and we're into this reading. Okay, so we're starting off on the Five of Wands. Now, this is a card that talks about conflict, and it can be that you're having conflict with other people, but very often I feel it's sort of like that mental conflict that you have when you're trying to make a decision or trying to move forward with something, when you have two options. It's sort of like that Two of Pentacles energy, but it's more sort of really conflicting for you. So for example, somebody asks you to go on a weekend away, and you're not really sure if you want to go or not, but then you really do, but then you don't. That sort of conflict. So I really feel like here there is something to do with the Seven of Cups. It's like you have a lot of different options and you can't work out which one's right for you. It could be that you're dating two people and not really sure which one's right for you, or it could be that you'd have two job opportunities. This is confusion here for me. All right, and it is in regard to love. So why are you conflicted about love here? Let's go a bit further. Yeah. Okay, so there's your energy there. It's very much an energy of, do I stay or do I go? That Queen of Swords for me is about you making a decision, but it could also mean that you are an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. There seems to be some sort of deliberation on whether you walk away from something or whether you stay with it. So you're getting confused because you're not really sure if you should just turn your back on something or whether you give it another go, whether you push forward with it. Now, remember, this isn't always romantic. Some people say, oh, I don't have a love interest. I'm like, it could be a friend, could be a family member. But whatever it is, you're really conflicted on whether you should stay or should you go. There's a song playing in my head now. All right, so we have Capricorn energy coming through. I feel like you might be dealing, whoa, okay, let's just put a couple more down. Seven of Pentacles. and the Star card. You might be dealing with somebody who's, extremely cold, controlling, narcissistic, but you could also, it feels as though you might fear something with this person. So please be careful. If you're feeling that the person is unpredictable, I feel like it's your fear that's sort of coming out a little bit here. And, there is this sort of energy, especially with the Seven of Pentacles and the Star card, that you're looking forward and you're trying to wonder, I feel, whether, especially with that Wheel of Fortune here, is, should I stick this out or should I move forward? Because something doesn't feel right about this person, okay? So whatever it is you're finding, yeah, we've got Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio here. Oh, with the Tower, smack bang, strong Scorpio energy. And then we have Leo, Sag, Aries. Oh my goodness, have a look at this. I don't know who I'm talking to here. But if you see, this is the energy of Aries here. We have Aries in the Tower and we have like those two. And then we have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And we have Scorpio in the Tower as well. So either you're dealing with a water sign, you could be dealing with somebody else, but for some reason here, this person is coming up as very cold and controlling. And I feel like with that Tower in the middle, maybe you've seen another side of them, or you've been privy to some other side of this person that hasn't made you feel that whatever it is here is quite right. Let's just pull a few more cards. All right, so I have the Empress card coming through with the Four of Cups. Yep, all right, and the Temperance card. The Temperance card makes me feel like you might stick this out for a little bit longer. Maybe, I always tell people, you be the observer in your own world. Don't walk around with your eyes closed, not seeing things. Be always grounded and see what's going on. So if you're dealing with somebody that seems a little bit, you're a little bit unsure of them, maybe you are a little bit cautious, frightened, maybe that you were quite obsessed with this person and they've shown a different side of you. Always makes me feel like that narcissistic rage, because I think narcissists are really, really good at holding on to everything, but when they snap, there's a side of them you really don't see very often, and it's not nice. So, when you see that, you think, well, is this the person that I met, or is this person I'm dealing with? As I said, it could be a friend, anybody, but it's almost like you're thinking, this really doesn't feel like the person I thought this person was. They're showing another side to you here. And I love here, incredibly, you've come up like as this Empress energy. And that sort of makes me feel like you are seeing yourself in a situation where you feel like you are maybe a little bit vulnerable, but also that you feel like perhaps you deserve a little bit more. So perhaps someone's playing some tricks on you, or, as I said, is incredibly cold or not really engaging well. Then I feel like you're doing the whole self-respect thing and really understanding I deserve more. Because very often we can get so hooked into people that by the time they start showing us those sides of themselves, we're already falling for them. They're very, very clever. So if this is what you're dealing with, but I see you packing up and getting out, I really do. I feel like somehow or another with this Tower and Four of Cups, what you're being offered here isn't right for you. You're so much more respectful of yourself, and it also makes me feel perhaps you've been in a situation like this before where you've tried to make something work and it just didn't work. I'm just going to go through the mini read, pop some more cards down for you. There's some sort of conflict here, and I feel like you're confused as to whether to stay or whether to go. If you're going, then it looks like you're cutting something off here and having a brand new beginning. But I feel like here I've caught you right in the middle of some sort of decision of, do I want this or not? Do I move on or not? Am I, really wanting what I'm sort of seeing here? This may not be for me. This person, maybe has another side to them that you're feeling is not. And I'm not talking about like a little paddy chuck. We all get angry. We all get, sort of upset about things, but this isn't like this. Something here has sort of made you think either this person has, I want to say, frightened you or scared you. Maybe it's just come out of the blue. And as I said, if you're dealing with someone who's a little bit more narcissistic, they have the most incredible narcissistic rage, and it's almost like you look at their face and they're black. And maybe for some reason here, I feel like with this Tower between the two kings, it's like, for me, that you're making some sort of decision that puts you in good stead with the Empress there. because I see you sort of, the whole reading is about working out whether perhaps this is the right thing on, or maybe you're going to give it another go, but you're going to look at things very differently this time. That's maybe what it is. Like, you know, I don't like the way that person behaved, but I'm going to give them the chance to change it. And if I see it again, I'm out of there. That's what it feels like. All right, I'm just going to put a couple more cards on. All right, I have the Ace of Swords. I'm not going any further with that. There is some sort of truth here that you need to see. So sometimes, as I said, we can lose our temper, we can get angry. Most of us diffuse fairly quickly. Some of us need to talk out, and we find that then we can sort of diffuse something. This feels to me like somebody may have accused you of something that you haven't done. That to me is what the energy is here. So, you know, if you get accused of cheating and you haven't cheated and you're trying to defend yourself and somebody doesn't believe you, there is no worst feeling in the world than trying to prove your innocence. And I know that a lot of the time that's other people deflecting to us. So there's a really strong feeling here that something that you've either come to face, be accused of, or something's been brought to your attention where somebody's just got really angry with you or really upset with you. Maybe they're not prepared to talk it out, which is what you want. Maybe they're not listening to what you have to say, but there's a conversation that needs to take place here. If this person isn't listening to what you have to say, then I feel that you may consider whether they are the right person for you or not. Alrighty, wait for a moment. Aries, let's read you an oracle card from the Alana Fairchild Light Worker Oracle. Oh. Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. That's why you're getting the Empress. See, it may be that you've done a lot of work on this, or that you've been with somebody before who's done this, and it's almost like you may be being tested here by the universe. It's card number 9, as to whether you've learnt your lessons or not. Divine feminine wisdom empowers you to grow into your vision, your dreams, and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Perhaps you envision a very different life for yourself to what you're experiencing now. The wisdom reminds you that you can experience even the most extraordinary dreams as reality if you are willing to grow into what you desire and to become what you seek. Surrender any plans about how you can best manifest your dreams and instead allow life to guide and nourish you through your experiences every day. The universe supports your divine destiny as helping you to become all you're meant to be. So maybe the Ace of Swords too is representing you sort of living in your truth. Maybe you've outgrown certain things in your life. If this isn't romantic for you, maybe it's somebody that you've had around for a long time and you don't want to deal with their outbursts or their accusing or accusations anymore. Whatever this is, it sort of to me feels like you're doing things differently this time. Maybe you have gone in with your eyes open. Maybe you are starting to understand that your person is cold. They won't talk about things. They won't discuss things with you, and you're pretty upset if you, it's almost like you've got this confusion about it. So you're going backwards and forwards in your own mind. And maybe you're the type of person who's usually seen yourself in a situation where you feel that you are at fault. But I feel like in this particular situation, you don't feel like you're at fault to me. So it's almost like you're being accused of something, or somebody's placing you somewhere that you were not. And I feel like somehow or another you are either standing up for yourself, but you're seeing things differently to what you've done before because you're self-respecting. So, you know, when somebody accuses you of something you haven't done, or puts the blame on you where the blame is not warranted, and I'm talking about, you know, accusing you of something you haven't done, then perhaps somehow or another you need to try to see it differently. If your person is unrealistic and doesn't want to talk about it or doesn't want to discuss it with you, there's a problem there already. So if you're being blamed and you don't get to talk about it or discuss it, that can be the most frustrating thing on the planet, especially if you're innocent. It just reminds me of being at school, you know, when somebody pulls you out and says you've been talking and you're like, I wasn't talking. And no matter what happens, you can't convince them that you weren't talking. You end up in detention for it. Yes, that happened to me. I used to always be singled out and I'd be standing there thinking, I did not do that. That wasn't me. But that's what it feels like. So hopefully, Aries, this has hit the mark. Have a wonderful week. Thank you.